Well, today is an amazing day because I have my friend Joyce Beauvais with me, and Joyce is just an icon in the town of East Lyme. She is an author, she is a director, she's a producer, and she is not only talented, but she develops talent in other people. Please join me, Joyce, and say hello to our audience who's joining us with us now.
Well, thank you, Kate. Hi, everybody. That was a lot to live up to.
Oh, but it's so true, and great sense of humor too. If you don't see Joyce without a good laugh. So, and Shoreline Drama is the umbrella under which you do a lot of different things.
Yeah.
But let's get focused. Let's talk about what you're doing right now.
What I'm doing right now, I'm very excited about it. I mean, I think everybody always says that about their projects, but I am. And
you know what, Joyce, you exude enthusiasm and you just get people on board with you.
Well, this is so much fun. Nothing's more fun than a murder mystery.
Oh, yeah.
And this is called White Feathers Murder Mystery. I wrote it with my partner, writing partner, Mary McAndrew.
And she's fun. She's lovely.
She's a hoot, believe me. And she is in it.
Yes.
As well. And we have actors from all over our area, our town, or maybe Mystic, you know, just nothing. We've got Old Lyme, Old Saybrook. I think one actor lives in Mystic, and all the rest of us are in town.
Okay, but the show's coming up October 22nd, which is really fast.
It's a week away from where we're talking right now.
Right.
1 week from tonight. And we have, scarily, rehearsal tonight, rehearsal tomorrow morning, and rehearsal Tuesday. That's it, scarily for the actors. And then dress rehearsal Thursday night, and then we open on Friday night, 6:30. We've always done the murder mysteries with a dinner, but because of COVID, you know, it's family style when we serve the dinner. So we can't do it this time, but we're serving dessert and coffee.
Oh, fun. That's good.
In the intermission, yeah.
Oh, fun.
And we have it at 6:30, so people can either eat before or after. It's not a long show. And we get the audience very involved. And first of all, the first way we want them to get involved is to come dressed in their dressed to kill.
Dressed to kill. Well, I'm already thinking about what I'm going to wear, like pearls and some lace and one of those fun hats.
Yes. 1920s, Prohibition, set in Hell's Kitchen, New York City. And you know what they called pearls in those days?
I don't know.
Oyster fruit.
Oh, interesting.
That was the slang.
Okay.
I like your oyster fruit.
And you say it with the right accent, too. So, okay. So
then we have a 50-50 raffle because we have to have a limited audience to keep everything well spaced. And so we really want to usually we're packed to the rafters when we do a murder mystery. But we can't be, so that's why we're doing 2 shows. And so we're doing a 50-50 raffle to help to put some more money into the East Lyme Community Senior Center, which is, they kept a lot of people going during the pandemic. That
Absolutely.
Couldn't have been fed, couldn't have gotten their health care taken care of, couldn't have gotten their vaccines. And these people, they were just a handful, a little tiny handful, and they put themselves on the line. They still do every day. So it's a thrill to know that we're working to, this fun thing that we're doing is going to benefit the East Lyme Senior Center.
So it's not only a fun activity, it's a fundraiser. So
oh, very good. I have to use that.
So you are going to be generating money to continue to provide those services for our seniors in town.
Yeah.
And they do so much. There's a hiking group, there's a riding group, there's bingo. Well, I don't know if there's bingo anymore. There used to be bingo.
I don't know if they have it anymore because I'm so busy but I am teaching an acting class.
Tell me about that.
In the Senior Center.
Tell me about that.
Right now at this very moment. And on November 8th, we'll do it's an acting and sing class, and we'll be doing a little workshop of the scenes that I'm working with the actors.
Oh, that sounds really fun.
And people can come, and see it. There's no charge. It's just a workshop. But it shows what they've been working on through, and I have a huge class. I'm delighted.
How many?
Well, I have 13, and I usually don't like to have more than 7.
Oh.
So, because it's a 3-hour class, and everybody has to have time. What I do is I teach the fundamentals of acting before they get to the scene work.
Sure.
So they can apply it to the scenes. So I am thrilled to do that with the Senior Center.
Very
and I used to do the East Lyme Players with them. But now I do Theater Under the Shell in the summer.
Oh, I know.
With Kathy Wilson producing from the East Lyme Senior Center.
Very nice. So on November 8th is a workshop that people should be aware of too.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a 3-hour workshop?
No.
An hour workshop.
Yeah.
And do we know what time that's going to be?
I don't, but they can call the Senior Center. Probably be like 1 o'clock, I'm thinking, but I don't know. So
I'm trying to think what day of the week that might be. Is that
Thursday,
a Thursday?
probably.
Thursday,
Yeah.
November 8th, probably about 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
That people can sign up and attend a
Yeah.
workshop
Yeah.
and actually see you in action teaching acting
Yeah.
and the basics that we need to have.
and the fruits of that class, it's a 6-week semester, and the 7th week is the workshop. And we've been doing improvisations and cold readings and monologues, and I just handed out their scenes to them yesterday.
Nice.
So now there will be scenes from Arsenic and Old Lace, The Man Who Came to Dinner, Steel Magnolias, a lot of them.
Oh, nice. So these are the shows that you've been producing and directing recently.
No,
No.
I've been in theater all my life.
Okay.
And I have been in comedies all my life.
Okay.
And I just have a large repertoire in my home of well-known classics and scripts. And I choose the scenes for the people that are in the class.
Nice. So you
How
know
to
what their
work with them.
talents
Yeah.
are, what their strengths
Or
might
what they might
be.
need to stretch.
Oh, there you
know?
go. That's a nice way of putting it,
Yeah.
to develop them further.
Yeah.
And tell me about that. Some of the actors that come in, perhaps they're not very polished. What happens? What do you see happening?
Well, it's great. I can teach any level. I can put a pro actor in my class with a brand new newbie. But most of the people are people that acted in college or in high school
Sure.
and love going to the theater and want to be on the stage now. And they take it very seriously,
I'm
and
sure.
they work very hard. I did all Zoom classes last year, and I'll do Zoom classes again in January. But
Because of the travel? Because
it's
it's easier
yeah.
in some ways?
Yeah, there'll never be a snow day.
Okay.
You know.
There you go. There you go. But you'll do hybrid as well. You'll do in person if able.
I don't know. I might just do Zoom in the winter.
Okay.
And then prepare for Theater Under the Shell for the summer. But next week, this coming week, whenever you're going to watch this, the White Feathers murder mystery, the audience gets involved. They have to solve the crime.
Okay.
They get to question the actors.
Oh, nice.
The characters.
Sure.
And we have just a motley crew of characters. I'll tell you their names. The MC is Walter Whopper, and that's kind of a Walter Winchell had a hopper combo. And he's played by Jim Abrams. And we have Calamarie Boyardee and Fetish Cheney Boyardee. And these are the owners of the White Feathers Speakeasy on 10th Avenue in Hell's Kitchen. And 10th Avenue in the 20s was known as Death Avenue.
Ooh.
And it lives up to its name.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
You did some history research on
Oh,
this.
a lot of research. I also had a restaurant and cabaret in the very building that we envisioned it in.
Oh,
it
fun.
was originally a speakeasy on 10th Avenue, turned into a funeral parlor, turned into a restaurant.
That's an interesting history.
Yes.
Oh.
And so in those days, there was a battle between the gangs of the Irish and the Italians.
Sure.
So across the street from the White Feathers is the Four Clovers Speakeasy. And they have finer Irish whiskey. White Feathers has gin rummy, but they have a craps game going on down. You take the dumbwaiter down to the basement, and on Friday nights. So there's a battle going on with these two groups, and we have to bring law and order.
Okay.
Is Sergeant Vinnie Mozzarella.
Where do you get these names?
Who knows? And then with the Four Clovers, their kind of thug is Mickey Fingers.
Oh, gee.
And the two owners, they're known as the Cat Sisters. They're Lucy Fur O'Hara and Miss Kitty O'Hara. And then the accountant is Pennywise. And then Cherry Herring is a gypsy.
Well, I love
Fortune
their
teller.
names, yes.
So so the audience has to watch everything that's going on the best that they can. It's hectic. It's crazy. Sometimes there are corsets flying and bras flying.
Oh my goodness.
And just silliness, craziness, and a lot of questioning. Somewhere along the line, something happens, and the audience has to figure out who did what happens. And each table votes. Each table gets a chance to question.
And how many
the
people at a
characters.
table?
You know,
We don't know.
It's spaced out, so it won't hold what we usually do.
Right.
So the setup for the room is being done by Kathy Wilson and her crew.
Of course.
And they're
Following the social distance guidelines for
yes.
COVID-19.
And masks are required to be in the audience.
Absolutely.
However, the actors have been rehearsing in masks the entire rehearsal period. And for the show, we are all taking a COVID test within an hour of performance. And then we will go on without masks. It's not a musical.
Right. So you'll take the rapid test and affirm that you are healthy and not contagious.
Yeah.
And so that will alleviate any fears that anybody might have.
That's right.
So that's good. Because sometimes people have a really difficult time hearing people when they're masked.
Correct.
So that will really...
And we do have microphones.
Good.
But even so, it's
course.
muffled with the masks. And it's crazy. It's a physical show, and there's a lot going on, and you've got to see,
the facial expressions,
yes.
their eyes, yes, that's also
All of that.
telling.
Yeah.
And that's what happens with wearing a mask. You have that much information that's
Right.
masked, and
Right.
you can't see it, and you don't
Right.
exactly know.
Right.
Not-
And beforehand, now the actors will be masked for this, but we have a red carpet premiere of this show.
Love it.
The red carpet's probably about 5 feet long.
I have some red carpet if you need an extension.
Oh, do you?
I do. It's
Okay.
a runner if you want more.
Yeah, great.
Yeah,
That would
yeah.
be great. And the actors are going to be on each side to greet the audience when they come in.
Oh,
and just say
fun.
hello to them as they're walking in, and then the characters will go backstage before we start.
Now, I want a little hint because I am doing this favor to you, right?
Yes.
Like with murder mysteries, people always say, follow the money and you solve the mystery.
Well, these are very greedy people.
They all want some
They
money.
all want some money. So that might be a hint.
Okay. We don't know.
No.
Well, you do know, but you're not telling me. You're giving me the poker face right now. So that's fine. That's fine.
And let's see if I've forgotten what else. The audience is so involved all the time. The characters come down off the stage, and they'll at the end of the first act, and they'll be standing at the very end of each table as opposed to going to each person.
Sure.
But they'll be talking with everybody and
fun.
professing their purity and their innocence and how they could be guilty of anything but their own wonderfulness.
Of course. Of course.
And then there's an intermission and dessert, and they do the 50-50 raffle. And then we come back on and finish the act 2 of the murder mystery. And then the actors all line up on stage, and the audience gets to ask 2 questions per table. And
So you better be organized, and you better have a really good question.
Yes. And we leave a couple of suggested questions, but we don't want you to really read those. We just want that to spark your imagination. And then everybody gets, each table gets a ballot.
Okay.
And the table has to decide who they think the person is. And then we collect it. And then someone from the audience is brought into the picture as the forensic doctor, Dr. Ruth Bader Watson.
Okay.
And if it's a man, it'll be Dr. John Watson. And they will read the findings from the autopsy. And the table or tables that win get a prize.
Oh, wow. So there's a little incentive there.
Oh,
Yeah. Everyone will have a little skin in the game, as they
right.
say, and then that'll make it just a little bit more exciting. Oh, that's great.
And it's just fun. Silly.
And there's nothing better than laughing, right?
Right.
Yes.
Right. There is no depth to these characters. They all know who they are. We had to do our acting homework and do the backstories of everybody, and they all have extensive backstories, but they don't have any depth.
So tell me, what are some homework? If somebody was interested in taking some of your classes, what are some typical activities that you might do to help them to develop their own acting skills or their own talent?
Well, one of the first things we do in the beginning of a class is I assign people to go out into the public somewhere. They can sit in their car, they can sit on a bench at the beach, they can, wherever they are, and do a character study on an unknown victim. And they cannot know the person themselves. And they have to, it's a character observation study, because without good observation, one can't be a good actor. Without good listening skills, one cannot be a good actor. Without good articulation and enunciation skills, one cannot be a good actor.
So those are three things you really work to develop: observation, listening, and articulation.
We do vocal exercises and breathing exercises. You breathe in, and then you breathe out with a shh, or you breathe out with a horse lips, or whatever it is. And they write a character study and everything that they can observe about this person, every detail. And once they've written down every detail of what they see, then they round out the character by imagining something about this person's life that they don't know because it's a stranger, to develop it into a full character. And then when they get a real character to play, they have to do a character study on the character they're going to play and do that backstory. A scene never starts at the beginning.
No, of course not.
Something's happened before.
Yep.
Something's going to happen later.
Right.
And you want the actor to have full knowledge of their character. It just makes it richer and fuller. And that's what we work on. And so by the time of the workshop, we see if we've got better work than when we started out with just reading cold some monologues. What's going to be the difference actually working on the subtext, breaking down the beats? And there's a lot of work that goes into being an actor.
Of course there is.
Not
just memorizing the lines. I think so many people are daunted with the idea of acting just with memorizing, which I know is a task in of itself, but also you've done some readers theater, which I think has been really...
that's what this will be.
Oh, okay.
This class, we don't put, if someone wants to memorize, that's fine, because I teach all levels, and I teach the skill of how to memorize. But this will be readings. I mean, some of them might memorize it, but they're going to, they rehearse it over and over and over again, and it grows so much from the first time.
Oh, sure.
And I don't want to put the pressure on a class that I'm teaching in the senior center of them having to memorize. Whereas when I do a full theater production, it's memorized. My murder mystery, it's memorized. But there's a lot of ad-libbing, so don't be surprised.
Right. Well, they always talked about Robin Williams as somebody who never really stuck to script, and I'm sure that you have some people like that.
Well, I don't want them to. I want them to stick to the script so people get their cues.
Okay.
But there are sections in the script that say, now there is a lot of mayhem.
Okay. So you just add to that. Okay.
Yeah, and they fill it out with a lot of slang and of the 1920s gangster slang.
Oh, wow.
And
so they probably do their own research on that. Like, what did they say? You said pearls were called
well,
oyster fruit.
we gave them a lot of the word. You'll hear them all peppered throughout the play, all these wonderful slangs.
Expressions, right, that we don't use anymore.
No.
Well, my mom was a theater director. I think I told you that previously, a producer and director, and taught speech and drama, mostly to high school and college kids. Not so much to seniors, but high school kids can be really challenging or really talented or both simultaneously. But she used to always say that theater was good for the introvert and the extrovert.
She is right. The best actors are introverts. The best actors are very shy. People don't know that I am an incredibly introverted, shy person, but I am.
It seems like a lie. I'm sorry.
No, it's not. When I'm not working, you don't find me. I'm a hermit. I've been shy all my life, but on stage, that just goes away because I'm so fully enveloped in another character who's not myself.
Right.
That I have a blast not being me.
You're telling his or her, because I'm sure you've acted men roles as well as female roles. So when you're acting and being that character, you are that character. So you are no longer Joyce Beauvais in that situation.
Right. What we say is that we sort of learn the character that we're playing and drop them in to ourselves, because there are things in my life that bring on the character that I develop. That's why one role can be played by thousands of actors, and it'll be different every time.
Of course.
But I've been in over 200 productions. I'm an equity actor, and I've traveled all over. I lived in New York City for 29 years. But on stage, totally forgot anything.
About you.
Yeah, it's like flying. It's like the greatest joy in the world, except for opening night, when I always, and the shyer you are, the more terrified you are before you go on. And
my mom always said, tell me if you think this is true, that opening night is the best production.
No.
No.
Oh, no.
Oh,
it's
no.
the worst. It's good because the adrenaline is up, and the actors get their lines out. Oh my gosh, I remembered my lines.
Right. I said it, I did it, I got through it.
But maybe for high school and college, that's true. But for a run, it's getting to know your character more and more. I always tell anyone, don't come to opening night, that I know. And that's true for Theater Under the Shell. It's all very exciting on opening night. But if you go closer toward the end of the week, you're going to see really, they're honing their characters, fine-tuned performances. They've learned what the audience responds to.
Sure.
Because live theater is all about the audience.
Oh, absolutely.
As this is. That's why I can't tell you what's going to happen here.
Oh my gosh. So if we want tickets, we call the Senior Center, and I see the number right here, 860-739-5859.
Yes. And make your reservation as soon as possible, because we have limited seating.
Of course.
The last murder mystery we had to open the doors, and there were card tables out in the hallway. And of course we can't do that now. And some people are hesitant because of COVID, but this is a giant room.
It is a big room.
And if we've got good weather, we'll even have the doors cracked as well.
Oh, nice. That's lovely.
But there's great ventilation.
Yeah.
So nobody should be afraid of that. And then you'll be wearing masks, and you won't be eating dinner.
Right, which is also confusing.
Yeah.
We only have a few minutes left, so I wanted to talk to you about your project, and I know you're looking for donations and grant money and grant and funding.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Yes. There is a wonderful space in a beautiful building on Main Street in Niantic.
Right on Main Street.
Yes. Owned by Gary Smith, my marvelous landlord, and his partner, Christine Milazzo. they are the best people I know. And it used to be Smoochie Bird gift store.
I remember
And
Smoochie. Yeah.
Cindy retired. And so I asked, could we rehearse Theater Under the Shell in this space? Because it hadn't been rented due to the pandemic. Although anyone would be lucky to have that space, but don't close your ears.
Because you want it.
I do want it, but we want to call it Bayside Theater Arts Studio, and we'd like to have it as a classroom space, a rehearsal space, and to do workshops in it.
Nice.
And for our community right on Main Street. But in order to do it, I don't have any money, just a lot of enthusiasm. And my landlord would need some financial partnership.
Of course, of course.
And but he loves the idea of the project. So we're hoping to find some grant money, some Good Samaritans.
Well, I wonder if American Rescue could be part of that, or some of the ESSER grants that we have that are coming into town, if that could be part of it. That would be a wonderful use of it. Because you build community, Joyce, and you're helping people out of what otherwise would be probably more health issues, depression.
Correct.
The pandemic has been tough. You know, we've all lost, everybody has lost somebody during this last year and a half.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's something that no one that's been through it will ever forget, if we do ever get out of it. And theater has suffered tremendously as a result. It has.
Broadway's been hit hard, and
every theater, O'Neill, Long Wharf, all the theaters, and then you trickle down to mine. I am not doing what I usually do, and I'm just starting to do it, and I'm hoping that people will support the Mystery Theater so that that's something that we can continue doing and then support this new space.
Nice. So the show's going to run about an hour and a half, you think?
Or no, it'll be an early evening. I'd say you'll be out by 8.
Okay, 8 o'clock. So 6:30, little dessert, out by 8:30, go have a late dinner or something else.
I think you'll even be out by 8.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's not a long, I mean, the first act probably takes 20 minutes.
Oh, fun.
And then we mingle with the audience for another 15 minutes or so, and then it's intermission and dessert, and then a short second act of acting, and then questioning time.
Well, I can't wait. Thank you so much for today.
Thank you,
it's always
Kate.
a gift to be with you. It's such a pleasure.
It's a blast. I loved it.
Yes.
Come to the show. Wait for